With the second highest points tally after 3 races in Formula 1 history, Charles Leclerc has started the 2022 season like a man on a mission to rectify Ferrari's decline and take them back to the very top of the sport. For the most successful team in F1 history, it's been a few years to forget for the Scuderia. 2020 was the lowest of the lows, but even before then, the team had suffered years of heartache. The prancing horses last won the title back in 2007, with Kimi Raikkonen coming out on top in a tense title fight that went down to the wire. But now, with Leclerc at the wheel of a car capable of race wins, Ferrari are back. Not only are they back, but they're heavy favourites for the title in 2022. Leclerc is currently sitting pretty at the top of the standings with a lead of 34 points after just 3 races. Like I mentioned earlier, it's the second best start to an F1 season in terms of points, and the best since 2016. The only man to better Leclerc's start in history is Nico Rosberg's 75 points in 2016, thanks to 3 wins from 3 for the German. Scuderia team principal Matteo Binotto has admitted he's certainly surprised by Ferrari's pace at the start of the year, but will no doubt be delighted with how Leclerc is performing. While the Monegasque is running away with things, to suggest he's wrapped up the title already would be extremely foolish. After all, a couple of DNFs or poor finishes due to pace or bad luck, and Leclerc could easily be clawed back by those chasing him. The chasing pack may be a little way back right now, but they have the talent and the time to close up, and with upgrades likely to be brought throughout the season, Leclerc will have a title fight in the latter stages of the season, we presume. Who are the challengers? Well, it makes sense to start with a man currently sitting in P2, 1 place behind Leclerc and with the best points tally of the rest of the field, George Russell. Before the season started, Russell would have been delighted by sitting second after 3 races, one would assume, but given Mercedes' lack of pace, he'll be even more happy with it. Russell secured his first Mercedes podium in Australia and has been consistently picking up good points every week so far. With the Silver Arrows no longer the quickest team, they've been forced to pick up the pieces, and Russell has done it excellently. The Brit has capitalised on Red Bull's reliability issues and Carlos Sainz's retirement last time out to lift himself into the lofty heights of P2 in the championship. But until Mercedes brings some lasting upgrades, Leclerc won't be too worried by Russell's chances of a title win. The same can be said for Russell's new teammate Lewis Hamilton. Now, the 7-time world champion was one of the heavy favourites heading into the season as he bids to secure a record 8th title, but he's a little way off now. Mercedes look the outright 3rd quickest car, and despite his insane quality behind the wheel, it won't be enough to make up the deficit between his car and Leclerc's. Basically, Mercedes need to bring improvements quickly if they want to be involved in the title fight this season. But they have done incredibly well to be sitting P2 in the Constructors' Championship so far, when they've been way off Red Bull and Ferrari. Now, moving on to the drivers who don't need upgrades but do need circumstances to change. First up is Sergio Perez, who looks much improved this year. With the regulation changes, the Red Bull car doesn't seem so heavily built towards Max Verstappen, and Checo has reaped the rewards. Not only has he cut the qualifying gap to the Dutchman in the first 3 races to just 2 100ths per second, the Mexican is also ahead of his teammate in the standings. He may sit 4th in the Drivers' Championship, but he could well be the best of the top 4 to challenge Leclerc. Why is that? Well, Russell isn't in P2 based on pace, and once the season develops, he will fall away, unless Mercedes bring insane upgrades of course, while the man in P3 could well be destined for the role of second driver. Of course, it's Leclerc's Ferrari teammate Carlos Sainz. Now, the Spaniard is one of F1's best drivers, and he's been a reliable competitor in the sport for a while now. Not only that, but he beat Leclerc in 2021 in what was his first season at Ferrari. However, that was partly due to Leclerc's bad luck towards the end of the year, and in 2022 he looks a little way off his teammate. The gap in qualifying is currently just over a 10th, but he's 39 points behind already, and Australia wasn't a good look. With Leclerc running away with things, Sainz may find himself sacrificed in order for the Scuderia to pursue a title win with the Monegasque driver. For that reason, he won't seriously threaten Leclerc, although he likely will win his first F1 race at some point in 2022. To finish off, it's Max Verstappen. The reigning world champion is currently in 6th place in the standings and is closer to the 4 drivers on 0 points than Leclerc out front. The reason? He's DNF'd twice in 3 races. Verstappen won the only race he's finished so far this season, but reliability issues have caused him to fall behind. Red Bull therefore need to fix their issues, and until they do, Leclerc won't be too scared. However, he's seen so far this season how good Verstappen is, and their on-track duels have been mesmerising. If Red Bull sort out their reliability, Verstappen will be Leclerc's closest challenger, and yet another tense total fight could be on the cards. So, Leclerc's biggest rival this year is currently up in the air. The standings say Russell, pace says Verstappen, but it could well be his teammate Sainz if the Spaniard can rid his current tag of second driver. But if Red Bull can fix their issues, then Verstappen looks like the man most likely to challenge Leclerc for the title this year. Who do you think is Leclerc's biggest rival, and do you think it's his championship to lose already? Let me know in the comments section down below, and we'll reply to the best ones. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you know as soon as we upload. That's all for today, I'll catch you next time.